In a stunning and unprecedented escalation, the Israeli Defense Forces, that is the IDF, launched a large scale aerial operation across Iran early Friday, targeting nuclear facilities and senior military leadership. The operation, dubbed Operation Rising Lion, marks the most aggressive Israeli military campaign against Iran to date. Among those killed in the precision airstrikes were some of the most powerful figures in Iran's military hierarchy. And it includes Brigadier General Mohammad Bagheri, the chief of the general staff and second only to the supreme leader Ayatollah Khomeini in military command. Major General Hossein Salami, the commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, General Gholam Rashid, the deputy commander in chief of the armed forces. It also includes Ali Shamkhani, the former secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council and a close advisor to Khomeini, a key figure in the 2023 diplomatic thaw with Saudi Arabia. His loss is considered a major diplomatic setback for Tehran. This literally means that the entire Iranian military leadership was taken out by Israel. Israeli state media confirmed the deaths. The attack was highly targeted. Reports say Salami's personal apartment in a high rise building was hit with surgical precision, with no damage to other units. This clearly indicated that the Israeli intelligence knew exactly who is where and when. The IDF said the operation aimed to cripple Iran's nuclear capabilities and deter any imminent threats. The Israeli military claimed more than 200 fighter jets participated, launching over 300 precision guided munitions across multiple Iranian provinces. Key nuclear sites were targeted, including the facility at Natanz. However, the International Atomic Energy Agency, that is the IAEA, reported no increase in radiation levels and stated that several critical facilities, including those in Isfahan, Fordo, and Bushehr, were not affected. Iran confirmed that 6 nuclear scientists were killed. The IAEA also noted just a day prior that Iran was in breach of its non proliferation obligations, passing a resolution against Tehran for the first time in nearly 2 decades. Recent IAEA reports reveal that Iran possesses 408 kg of uranium enriched to 60%, a technical step away from weapons grade levels. Now, Iran has issued a defiant statement following the attacks, declaring that the strikes validated its pursuit of advanced enrichment and missile development programs. And I quote, "One should not speak to such a predatory regime except in the language of power," the Iranian government said. The world now better understands Iran's insistence on the right to enrichment, nuclear technology, and missile power. The strike has already had significant global consequences. Oil markets reacted sharply, with Brent crude surging 4.3% to $72.40 per barrel, and West Texas Intermediate rising 5% to $71.40, a response reminiscent of the early days of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Now, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu called the operation a necessary preemptive strike to, quote, neutralize the Iranian regime's ability to develop a nuclear weapon in immediate time frame. He indicated that the operation would continue for as many days as it takes. While the United States has distanced itself from the operation, critics argue that the situation underscores the failure of past diplomatic approaches and campaign promises, particularly President Donald Trump's vow to reduce global conflicts. Well, Donald Trump would have now realized that election rhetoric is very different from actual reality when you come to power. Israel's operation demonstrates not only advanced military capability but also exceptional intelligence coordination. The ability to strike high value targets with such precision implies deep infiltration into Iran's defense infrastructure. The Israeli campaign marks a profound strategic inflection point not only for Iran and Israel but for the entire Middle East and broader international order. With the decapitation of Iran's military leadership and strikes on its nuclear infrastructure, Israel has asserted a bold new doctrine of preemption, intelligence dominance, and operational reach. This was not a limited strike or a symbolic warning, it was a deliberate, multi theater assault designed to change Iran's strategic calculus. The assassination of multiple senior Iranian generals, including the military chief of staff and the IRGC commander, has created a temporary vacuum in Iran's defense leadership. The IRGC, often described as a state within a state, is a critical pillar of Iran's regional and domestic power projection. The sudden loss of its top commander could fracture operational cohesion, delay retaliation, or force hasty escalations. There are questions as to whether Khomeini can reassert control and unify competing factions quickly enough to respond in a calculated way, or whether internal instability and power jockeying may follow. Operation Rising Lion exposed the depths of Israeli intelligence penetration into Iran. The precise targeting, hitting individual apartments and command centers, suggests not just satellite surveillance but real time human intelligence on the ground. The IDF's successful deployment of 200 aircraft without interception by Iranian air defenses also raises alarms across the region. It reinforces Israel's ability to conduct deep strikes far beyond its borders while operating within contested airspace. Israel has likely redefined the limits of what is politically and militarily possible for state actors seeking to prevent nuclear proliferation. The operation has upended the fragile balance of diplomacy in the Middle East. So, what lies ahead? Well, Iranian retaliation is likely, but how and when? Iran has vowed revenge. Possible avenues include coordinated missile and drone attacks via proxies, Hezbollah in the Lebanon, Houthis in Yemen, and militias in Iraq and Syria. Cyber attacks against Israeli infrastructure, asymmetric maritime warfare in the Strait of Hormuz. Yet Iran's calculus is complicated. A hasty or large-scale retaliation risks full-blown war with a battle-tested Israeli military that now holds the strategic initiative. The danger of spillover is real. Hezbollah could be drawn into a northern front. Israel has already heightened its alert along its northern and eastern borders. Meanwhile, US forces in the region may be targeted by Iranian proxies even as Washington attempts to de-escalate. European capitals, besides Beijing and UN, are expected to press for restraint. But with key Iranian leaders eliminated and Israeli forces on high alert, momentum may continue before diplomacy takes hold. For The Print, this is Snehesh Alex Philip. Do subscribe to The Print's YouTube channel for more such videos.